1 Chronicles 20. It happened at the time of the turn of the year, at the time when kings go forth, that Joab led the battalions of the army. He destroyed the land of the children of Ammon. Then he came and besieged Rabbah, while David was settled in Jerusalem. Joab smote Rabbah and laid it waste. David removed their king's crown from his head. He found its weight to be a talent of gold, and in it was a precious stone, and it remained over David's head. He also took out a great deal of booty from the city. He took out the people in it and cut them with saws, with iron threshing boards, and with axes. And this is what David would do to all the cities of the children of Ammon. It happened after this that a war with the Philistines ensued at Gezer. It was then that Sibbecai, the Hushathite, smote Sippai, who was one of the children of the giants, and they were subdued. There was another war with the Philistines, when Elhanan, son of Jair, smote Lamhi, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, who had a spear with a shaft like a weaver's beam. There was another war in Gath. There was a man of huge dimensions, whose digits were 6 for each, hand and foot, making 24. He too was born to the giant. He ridiculed Israel, and Jonathan, the son of David's brother Shimea, struck him down. These were born to the giant in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. 1 Chronicles 21. An adversary stood against Israel and enticed David to take account of the people of Israel. So David said to Joab and to the officers of the people, "Go and make a tally of the people of Israel from Beersheba to Dan, and bring it to me, so that I may know their number." But Joab said, "May Hashem increase the number of his people 100 times over. Surely, my lord the king, they are all servants to my lord. Why should my lord desire such a thing? Why should this be a source of guilt for Israel?" But the word of the king prevailed over Joab. So Joab went and traveled through Israel and returned to Jerusalem. Joab conveyed the sum of the tally of the people to David. All of Israel numbered 1,100,000 men, drawers of the sword, and the men of Judah were 470,000 men, drawers of the sword. But Joab did not tally Levi and Benjamin among them, for the king's command was abhorrent to Joab. This matter was bad in God's eyes, and he smote Israel. David said to God, "I have sinned greatly in having done this thing. Now, please remove the sin of your servant, for I have acted very foolishly." Hashem spoke to Gad, David's seer, saying, "Go and speak to David. Thus said Hashem, I am offering you 3 things. Choose one of them, and I will do it to you." So Gad came to David and said to him, "This is what Hashem has said. Accept it upon yourself, whether 3 years of famine, or 3 months during which you will be vanquished before your enemy's sword gaining the upper hand, or 3 days of the sword of Hashem, a pestilence in the land, with an angel of God bringing destruction throughout all the borders of Israel. Now consider, what answer should I return to the one who has sent me?" David said to Gad, "I am exceedingly distressed. Let me fall into Hashem's hand, for his mercies are abundant, but let me not fall into the hand of man." So Hashem sent a pestilence in Israel, and 70,000 men of Israel fell. God sent an angel to Jerusalem to destroy it. But as he was destroying, Hashem saw and reconsidered the evil. He told the destroying angel, "Enough! Now stay your hand." The angel of Hashem was standing at the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. David raised his eyes and saw the angel of Hashem standing between the earth and heaven, with his sword drawn in his hand, stretched out over Jerusalem. And David and the elders, who were covered in sackcloth, fell on their faces. David said to God, "Surely I have said to take account of the people, and I am the one who has sinned and acted wickedly. But these flock, what have they done? Hashem, my God, let your hand be against me and my father's house, but against your people there should not be a plague." The angel of Hashem told Gad to say to David that David should go up and erect an altar to Hashem in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. So David went up as Gad had said, as Hashem had commanded. Ornan had turned back and seen the angel, and his 4 sons were with him hiding. Ornan had been threshing wheat. David approached Ornan. Ornan looked out and saw David. He came out of the threshing floor and prostrated himself to David, with his face to the ground. David said to Ornan, "Give me the site of the threshing floor, so that I might build an altar to Hashem in it. Give it to me for the full price, so that the plague will cease from the people." But Ornan said to David, "Take it for yourself, and let my lord the king do whatever is proper in his eyes. See, I have given you the cattle for burnt offerings, the threshing tools for firewood, and the wheat for a meal offering. I have given everything." But King David said to Ornan, "No, I shall buy it for the full price, for I shall not offer to Hashem that which is yours, nor offer up a free burnt offering." So David gave Ornan for the place gold shekels weighing 600. David then built an altar there to Hashem, and he offered burnt offerings and peace offering. He called out to Hashem, and he responded to him with fire from heaven upon the altar of burnt offering. Hashem then said the command to the angel, and he returned his sword to its sheath. At that time, when David saw that Hashem had answered him at the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite, he brought offerings there. The tabernacle of Hashem, which Moses had made in the wilderness, and the altar of burnt offerings were at the high place in Gibeon at that time. But David could not go before it to seek God, for he was terrified before the sword of the angel of Hashem. 1 Chronicles 22. David said, "This is the house of Hashem, God, and this is the altar of burnt offering for Israel." David commanded to gather in the strangers who were in the land of Israel. He designated masons from among them to carve hewn stones from which to build the temple of God. David prepared an abundance of iron for nails, for the doors of the gateways and for the joints, an abundance of copper beyond weighing, and an abundance of cedar wood, for the Sidonians and the Tyrians had brought an abundance of cedar wood to David. David thought, "Solomon, my son, is young and tender, and the temple that is to be built for Hashem must be exceedingly grand, to be a source of fame and splendor throughout all the lands. So I will now prepare for him." So David prepared a great deal before his death. He summoned his son Solomon and charged him to build a temple for Hashem, God of Israel. David said to Solomon, "My son, I had in mind to build a temple for the name of Hashem, my God. But the word of Hashem came to me, saying, 'You have shed much blood, and you have made great wars. You shall not build a temple for my name's sake, for you have shed much blood upon the ground before me. Behold, a son will be born to you. He will be a man of rest, and I shall grant him rest from all his enemies all around. His name will be Solomon, and I will bestow peace and tranquility upon Israel in his days. He will build a temple for my name's sake. He will be a son to me, and I will be a father to him. And I will establish the throne of his kingdom over Israel forever. Now, my son, may Hashem be with you. May you be successful and build the temple of Hashem, your God, as he said about you. Only may Hashem give you wisdom and understanding, and give you command over Israel to keep the Torah of Hashem, your God. Then you will succeed, if you are careful to follow the statutes and ordinances which Hashem commanded Moses concerning Israel. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear and do not lose resolve. Now, behold, despite my inadequacy, I have prepared for the temple of Hashem 100,000 talents of gold, 1,000,000 talents of silver, and an amount of copper and iron which is not weighed because of its abundance. And I have prepared timber and stones. You should add to this. With you there will be an abundance of workmen, quarry workers, artisans of stone and wood, and people skilled at every manner of work. The gold, silver, copper, and iron is beyond calculation. Therefore, arise and act, and may Hashem be with you." David commanded all the officers of Israel to help his son Solomon. "Surely Hashem, your God, is with you. He will grant you rest all around you, for he has delivered the inhabitants of the land into my hand. And the land has been conquered before Hashem and before his people. Now, apply your heart and soul to seek Hashem, your God. Get up and build the sanctuary of Hashem, God, to bring the ark of the covenant of Hashem, and the sacred vessels of God into the temple that will be built for the sake of Hashem. 1 Chronicles 23. When David was old and fulfilled of days, he made his son Solomon king over Israel. He gathered together all the officers of Israel, as well as the Kohanim and the Levites. The Levites were counted from the age of 30 years and above, and their number by the head count of their men was 38,000. Of these, 24,000 were to oversee the work of the temple of Hashem. 6,000 were marshals and judges. 4,000 were gatekeepers, and 4,000 gave praise to Hashem with instruments that I made for giving praise. David divided them into divisions of Levites, according to the families of Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Of the Gershonites, Ladan and Shimei, the sons of Ladan, the chief Jehiel, and Zetham and Joel, altogether 3. The sons of Shimei, Shelomith, Haziel, and Haran, altogether 3. These were the family heads of Ladan. The sons of Shimei, Jahath, Sina, Jeush, and Beriah. These were the 4 sons of Shimei. Jahath was the chief, and Sissa the second. Jeush and Beriah did not have many sons, so they became a single family, occupying one position. The sons of Kohath, Amram, Issar, Hebron, and Uziel, altogether 4. The sons of Amram, Aaron and Moses. Aaron was set apart to sanctify him as holy of holies, he and his sons forever, to burn offerings before Hashem, to minister before him, and to bless in his name forever. Concerning Moses, the man of God, his sons would be reckoned as the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses, Gershom and Eliezer. Of the sons of Gershom, Shebuel, the chief. The sons of Eliezer, Rehabiah, the chief. Eleazar had no other sons, but the sons of Rehabiah proliferated greatly. Of the sons of Issar, Shelomith, the chief. Of the sons of Hebron, Jeriah, the chief. Amariah, the second. Jahaziel, the third. And Jekamiam, the fourth. Of the sons of Uziel, Micah, the first. And Deshiah, the second. The sons of Merari, Mali and Mushi. The sons of Mali, Elisar and Kish. Elisar died having no sons but only daughters. Their kinsmen, the sons of Kish, married them. The sons of Mushi, Mali, Eder, and Jeremoth, altogether 3. These were the sons of Levi, according to their father's house, and the heads of the fathers' families, according to their counts, by the number of names, by their head count, who did the work for the service of the temple of Hashem, from the age of 20 years and above. For David said, Hashem, God of Israel, has granted rest to his people, and he has come to dwell in Jerusalem forever. Thus the Levites need no longer carry the tabernacle and all the vessels for its service. For the counting of the sons of Levi took place according to the latter words of David, from 20 years old and above. For their position was to stand at the side of the sons of Aaron for the service of the temple of Hashem, to be in charge of the courts and the chambers and the purifying of all holy things, and the work of the service of the temple of God, and of the bread of the stack, and of the fine flour for meal offerings, and for the unleavened cakes, and of the pan-baked and scalded meal offerings, and for all matters of measures and sizes, and to stand every morning to give thanks and praise to Hashem, and in the evening as well, and over all the burnt offerings that were offered to Hashem on the Sabbaths, on the new moons, and on the festivals, according to their number ordained for them, continually before Hashem. And they would also maintain the watch over the tent of meeting, and the watch over the holy place, and the watch over their kinsmen, the sons of Aaron, in the service of the temple of Hashem. 1 Chronicles 24. For the sons of Aaron, their divisions were the sons of Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Nadab and Abihu died in the presence of their father, and they had no children. But Eleazar and Ithamar became Kohanim. David, together with Zadok of the descendants of Eleazar and Ahimelech of the descendants of Ithamar, divided them according to their assignments in their service. The chief men of the descendants of Eleazar were found to be more numerous than those of the descendants of Ithamar, and they were divided accordingly. 16 family heads for the sons of Eleazar, and 8 for the sons of Ithamar, according to their families. They divided their shifts by lots with one another. For the officers of the sanctuary and officers of God were of the sons of Eleazar and of the sons of Ithamar. Shemaiah, son of Nethanel the scribe, one of the Levites, recorded them before the king, and the officers of Zadok the Cohen, and Ahimelech, son of Abiathar, and the heads of the families of the Kohanim and Levites. 1 extra unit for each of Eleazar's, but 1 unit for one of Ithamar's. The first lot fell upon Jehoiarib, the second upon Jedaiah, the third upon Harim, the fourth upon Seorim, the fifth upon Malchijah, the sixth upon Mijamin, the seventh upon Hakos, the eighth upon Abijah, the ninth upon Jeshua, the 10th upon Shechaniah, the 11th upon Eliashib, the 12th upon Jachim, the 13th upon Huppah, the 14th upon Jeshebeab, the 15th upon Bilgah, the 16th upon Immer, the 17th upon Hezir, the 18th upon Hapizzez, the 19th upon Pethahiah, the 20th upon Jehezekel, the 21st upon Jashin, the 22nd upon Gamul, the 23rd upon Deliah, and the 24th upon Maaziah. These were their arrangements for their service, to come to the temple of Hashem, according to the order set for them by Aaron their ancestor, as Hashem, God of Israel, commanded him. As for the remaining sons of Levi, of the sons of Amram, Shubael; of the sons of Shubael, Jediah; for Rehabiah, of the sons of Rehabiah, Ishiah the chief; of the Israelites, Shelomoth; of the sons of Shelomoth, Jahaz; of the sons of Hebron, Jeriah, Amariah the second, Jahaziel the third, Jekameam the fourth; of the sons of Uziel, Micah; of the sons of Micah, Shamir. The brother of Micah was Ishiah; of the sons of Ishiah, Zechariah; the sons of Merari, Mahli and Mushi; the sons of Jasiah, Beno; the sons of Merari through Jasiah, Beno, Shoham, Sakur, and Ibri; of Mali, Eleazar, who had no sons; of Kish, the son of Kish was Jeremiel; the sons of Mushi, Mali, Eder, and Jerimoth. These were the sons of the Levites according to their fathers' houses. They also cast lots in conjunction with their kinsmen, the sons of Aaron, in the presence of King David, Zadok, Ahimelech, and the heads of the families of the Kohanim and Levites, the major families in conjunction with their lesser kinsmen.